Hello, everyone. I'm David Smith, and I'm here to talk about physical security and social engineering and how the two are closely intertwined. So, I know most of us know what physical security is and social engineering is, but I just want to refresh everybody's minds on the definitions of these two. So, starting off, social engineering is the manipulation of humans and human error to gain information, spread malware, and to generally cause harm. Physical security is the protection of personnel, hardware, software, etc., from physical actions that could cause harm. And, I will go into more examples, or I will go into examples a little bit later on into the discussion. So just hold off for now. And so, but why would I discuss this? Well, physical security is less talked about than social engineering. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I haven't had a whole lot of talk on physical security in my classes here at EMU. And not that it's a negative thing, and not that it won't be discussed later on in classes. Just so far, I haven't. And but for poor physical security can lead to openings for social engineering attacks, and I'll show you some examples of how that can happen in the future. And so this is something you can also think about when you're getting a job in the future. So if you listen to this and you take a little bit from what I have discussed in what I'm going to discuss, maybe you'll be able to talk to a manager or something in the future if they ask for advice on, hey, what do you think we need to improve on? And you can say, hey, maybe we need to implement a few more physical security measures to keep the business safe, the company safe, whatever. And I think that'll be some really valuable insight that you can provide. And, if you're an intern or whatever, or just a new hire, I think you'll set a really good standard. So here's some aspects of physical security: cameras, alarms, entrance points. So, like, where you go into the building, locks, windows. So locks go for our windows and doors, and filing cabinets, whatever. And then secure locations within an area. So, for example, like a server room, and yeah. So virtually all locks can be picked. All physical locks, lock and key style. But they are necessary. Not, and it does take a specific skill set to pick them. But if you do have to use the lock and key style, track the inventory of the locks themselves. So, so you can like keep track of who has the keys in the company, and so if one goes missing, okay, we're gonna probably have to change these locks now. Electronic locks are the best option. They can fail, of course, and as like the one that you can see in the picture here, there is a physical lock and a electronic lock. I know some electronic locks have like an electronic deadbolt and a physical, like, just I don't know what the type is called, but you know what I mean. And so it has like two locks in one, which that's like best. That's one of the best cases right there. The best things that you can use. And then finally, just for redundancy purposes, or yeah, you should keep cameras on these locked doors. So now we're going to talk about visitors, which when we think about social engineering, we are going to probably think of visitors more. So visitors should always sign a sign-in log. Obviously, they can lie on this, so it's very, it's not the greatest, but that's just the first step. And then guards should escort these visitors to whatever location they're trying to get to. Say they need to visit Jimmy in sales or whatever. They need to be escorted to Jimmy in sales. Hey, I have a meeting with so and so. Okay, let me escort you there. And that's the only place they should be. Hopefully, they, stay in the area. Uh, but they should be escorted there and back, really. So visitor passes should also be required. We've seen these big patches on your chest or something that shows, hey, this is a visitor. So people can keep track of you a little bit better. It's easier for guards to say, oh, that's a visitor. Of course, it can be taken off, but airlocks can slow down visitors. So if you guys know a little bit about, if you guys don't know what an airlock is, it is basically you have a front door, and then you have just this like area, this little lobby. I mean, not even a lobby, but that is where the guard will need to like physically identify you, maybe ask you a couple questions, and then they let you in, and then you can go and sign a visitor log, do all that stuff. And that just that slows people down, whether it be they're trying to pick locks, or they the reason that it's good is because you have to be seen to get in. You have to be seen by a guard to get in. So yeah, so access cards should be very restricted and custom to the visitors. I don't know a lot of places that do custom that do access cards for visitors, but if your company does it, they should be very restricted and only allow you to access certain very, very specific areas that you need to go to. Papers, they have confidential information on them, and they should properly be controlled, of course, because who knows what an attacker can get off of just a single piece of paper from accounting or sales. So proper shredding techniques need to be put into place. There also should be a clean desk policy, and that is part of keeping papers properly controlled. If a potential attacker is going in, they could be looking around on desks when they're being escorted back to Jimmy from sales. And then, of course, the worst one, no sticky notes. No sticky notes with your passwords on it. I've worked at a company where it was very difficult to get some of these older people in the departments to remove these sticky notes. We would take them off their monitor, and they would get mad, and then they'd put them on like under their keyboard or something crazy. It's ridiculous. But anyways, yeah. So finally, why do we talk about all this? Well, 62% of companies have experienced social engineering attacks. So over half. That's quite a few. And as cybersecurity professionals and developing cybersecurity professionals, it's our job to kind of keep the sheep in line, to make sure that everything that they're doing is proper and keeping everybody else safe as well. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but humans are the weakest link. They are the toughest part of cybersecurity for us, and that's where a lot of social engineering attacks come from. That's what social engineering is all about, is taking advantage of humans. And finally, I believe that with these measures and many, many others, there's a lot that you can do. Physical security can really cut down on these numbers of social engineering attacks. Thank you.